नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास हूँ और मेरे साथ जिनसे आप मिल रहे हैं वो युगल किशोर दास जी हैं। युगल किशोर दास जी एक मॉन्क होने के साथ साथ एक लेखक भी हैं, वक्ता भी हैं और उनकी एक सीरीज है बुक्स की जिसमें उन्होंने टाइम मैनेजमेंट की बात की है, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट की बात की है और वो यहाँ ही रुके नहीं, इसके बाद उन्होंने एंगर मैनेजमेंट की भी बात करी है। तो हम मुख्य बात आज आपके साथ टाइम मैनेजमेंट के बारे में करेंगे, लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा हम एंगर मैनेजमेंट और स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट को भी छू लेंगे। तो पहले तो आप ये बताइए एक मॉन्क के मन में क्या आई, क्यों उन्होंने टाइम मैनेजमेंट पे किताब बनाई?
हिंदी में
नहीं, we can talk in English also because the book is in English. So let's move towards what made you think about writing a book on time management?
Prabhuji, problem today is people don't have time. Everyone is on the move. Run, run, run. At the end, they're not happy. So when I saw this, not only in America but across the world, I thought, let me write a book based on my experience on time management so that professionals, students, children, they can effectively use time. As I said before, I've been traveling all over America for more than 20 plus years and imparting the Vedic wisdom, the Gita wisdom to professionals actually. So I thought if I write a book on this based on the wisdom of Gita and present time management to the people of the 21st century, I'm sure they get benefit from Bhagavad Gita. They also get benefit from my time management.
Okay, so as your book helps a reader in learning the steps that you have shared or decoded in your book, and the one is what is time management? And allow me to think loudly with you, not referring to your book. Everybody is managing his time actually, but those who manage to accomplish what they set out to do in the stipulated time, we feel that they are managing time well. But allow me to submit, it is not just their ability to manage time, it is their ability to manage their mind and be disciplined. That's what, is that a part of time management?
Actually, I agree with you. Yes, it is time management. But I present in my book triangle. Life is a triangle. Life is a triangle. And 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours. So 8 hours work and 8 hours family life, relationships, and 8 hours, maybe 7 hours, 7.5 hours sleep. But if you can balance these 8, 3, 24 hours nicely, then you'll have a holistic life. Before I go forward, I want to tell you this. Many people in America or across the world, they consider time with money. But you should know this. Many people consider time with money, but 50 years later, that bank account, that will be there, but you won't be there. Then what is the use of that? And some people, they invest a lot of time on money making, but they ignore the families. Their relationships are broken. So, or if you invest only on family, then what happens is that today America, 70% of marriages are divorced in past 3 years. So I came up with a triangle. Bhagavad Gita will not pay mortgage to your home or tuition fee to your children. You have to work 8 hours. Please work. And you need to invest on family, because we are an emotional being. We need to handle our emotions too. We are a social being, so we need to invest in family and relationships. But third line is missing, sir, today. Spiritual life. Gita says we are not the body but spirit soul. So when you're spending half an hour in the bathroom to clean your body, if you can spend 15 minutes or half an hour to clean your heart, spiritual life, what I'm talking about. If you can, your investment of 15 to 20 minutes to 30 minutes investment spiritual life will help you in your career, 8 hours, will help you in your relationships. Because spiritual life You know, you made a point. It'll help you control the mind. You know, it'll fill you with enthusiasm and determination.
Okay, so what I understand based on your emphasis on spiritual life, while one is managing time, one should be clear about the priorities and what is going to serve how long and in what way, etc. So, keeping that in mind, there is a contrary view which is held by many, not just young but elderly people also. They feel that if I'm not going to pay attention to share market or whatever work I have and will take out n number of minutes or hour for a spiritual pursuit, it's not going to help me, etc. Now, in your experience, plus has there been some research which tells you that if you invest, say, half an hour, as you mentioned, to some spiritual practice, that will improve your efficiency?
Yes, definitely. That's why I have embedded in this book the principles based on the research, Gita wisdom. Also, um, the travels, in my travels and the people whom I met, I counsel so many professionals. All put together my 20 plus years of experience I put in this book. So I can tell you this. This Eisenhower matrix, which has been popularized by Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Again, the 4 quadrants. Very important, very urgent. Important, not urgent. Urgent, not important. Not important, not urgent. Very nice 4 quadrants, actually. You know, I'm sure those of you who read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People must have come across this. And so this is the thing. Life is very important, very urgent. For example, you have an exam coming up in a month. You have an interview coming up in a month. Today, if you see, it is actually important but not urgent. But if you can, because it's important but not urgent, if you plan your life nicely, if you work on the first quadrant, very important, very urgent, then you'll be a firefighting manager. A person who works on very important, very urgent first quadrant, they get tired and they invariably go to fourth quadrant, not important, not urgent. They glue themselves to the TV because morning to evening you're working very hard, you're stressed out. So evening 7, 8, 3, 4 hours, you glue yourself to the TV. Honestly speaking, Stephen Covey mentions in his book, this was actually presented by first time Eisenhower actually. Quality of life you want, especially time management, with regards to time management. The second one, important, not urgent. Means, as I said, you have an interview coming up in a month. So it is important, it's not urgent. So if you can allocate time for everything and work on those things and priorities, and that day, 2 days before your actual interview, you'll not be stressed out. So what I did it is, these 4 quadrants I explained in my book, but I have enhanced it, the same matrix of time management, by adding a 3D matrix no one has ever done till this day. So
there you talk about meaning and purpose of life.
yes.
So I was also thinking, managing time has to be with respect to what you want to do. So overall, what is the purpose of life plays an important role in finding the right recipe for managing your time. So if you don't have any pursuit to finish, then whatever you are doing is being managed well. Let's come to purpose and meaning of life. As a monk, what you will say, many people will probably not agree, considering the fact that since you don't know much about the pleasures of life or the joy or challenges of a householder's life, so what you are saying is right for you but may not work for them. How do you see this?
I disagree with you because I cultivate hundreds and thousands of professionals. And professionals include doctors and software engineers and other professionals. So it is not my experience, sir. It is their experience actually. I always say this when the first line when I say they smile. Life is not an Excel sheet of numbers. Life is not just Excel sheet of numbers. You know, uh, life means wealth. Wealth means you need health, you need money, and relationships. Three things you need. That is holistic life. So most of the people, what they do in the pursuit of wealth and the pursuit of money, they spend all the time and they ruin their health. At the fag end of the life, whatever the money they earn, they use it to bring back their lost health. So that's why so real holistic life means you need wealth, means health, money, and relationships. Three things. You have money, but you have ruined your relationship with the family. For example, your son is not listening. So there is a relationship problem with the spouse. Money doesn't work.
So this is a different dimension of relationship. While we are talking about time management, people won't consider this as an integral part of time management. Let's say what you are saying has happened in somebody's life. So relationship is ruined. Still, he needs to or she needs to uh, find the structure whereby they manage their time to the best of the given situation. Uh, let us look at the other side of the coin. What you said, these three things, if they are not well balanced or harmonious, they are not, let's say, in somebody's life. But I think time management is still relevant.
Okay, for example, when you're unable to handle these three things, when you can't strike balance, one thing will ruin your time. Simple, I'll tell you. There is a relationship problem that bothers you a lot. You come to the office, and but you still your mind is focused on the quarrel that happened at home.
Mhm.
Then you'll not be able to focus. You'll not be able to give quality time in the office. So the way money making is important, relationships are equally important. And 2018 or 19, BBC, what they did a research all over the world on Valentine's Day. They came to know 80% of people, they're lonely, even in the relationships. So because of that,
So,
these three things are
I'm
important.
interrupting you. On behalf of those 80% people, what you are saying ideally should happen, that didn't happen. And people are at different stages in their life. Some people succeeded in all the three quarters that you mentioned, some didn't. But while we are happy about those who succeeded, we also need to cater to the people who have not succeeded. So I repeat my question. I personally feel time management is even more important. It acquires greater importance for those who have lost sense of balance in that context. Probably they are also not very clear about the purpose of life because in retrospect they question what they did, etc. So address that also.
Okay, that's why I said, for them, irrespective of what their priorities are, sir, I told you, quadrant one, very important, very urgent. Urgent, not important. Important, not urgent. And not important, not urgent. No, I'll tell you. Not important, not urgent. Trash it. You don't need it.
Hmm.
So then, urgent but not important means what? So
Good.
you get a phone call. Urgent but it's not
Oh, okay,
important.
okay, okay.
So if it's like a phone call, many people what they do, they open every phone. If the same person comes to you, you tell them wait 15 minutes. So that's why the CEOs what they do, there are these are what do you call they're cheaters, time wasters. It is appearing urgent, but it's not important. That's why all the CEOs they'll have their secretaries lift the phone. You know, uh, for example, ting. What is that?
Notification.
One message from WhatsApp. Ting. One more message from text message. Hey, they're appearing very important, very urgent, but they're not important. So you delegate. Then, very important, very urgent. No matter how much ever you plan, certain things, some emergencies always come up. So you need to give some space where you need to use some time where you'll address these very important, very urgent things. In your days, suddenly what happens? You have a flat tire, or suddenly somebody's sick. You have to take them to hospital. So you have to allocate some time in your life for very important, very urgent things. But sir, the point I want to make is important, not urgent. That's what I was mentioning before. Everyone, irrespective of what your priorities are, if you can plan, I'm honest with you, you'll be successful in your life.
So the art of planning goes hand in hand with time management. And in your book, you quote Rupa Goswami's definition of enthusiasm as steadily endeavoring with intelligence. If we endeavor blindly without proper forethought, then failures will consume us both in volume and emotional impact. So now I want you to help us in finding if somebody lacks enthusiasm, what is the way to get that rhythm of enthusiasm in the context of time management?
Focus on the what end goal. What is that end goal you're going to get? You should have that. When you're starting a work, when you're starting a project, you should have an end goal in your mind. So this is what I'm going to get. When you're clear of what you're going to get, that keeps your enthusiasm. So means I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I will do it. I did it. So it has to keep. So you have to keep on pumping yourself up. No, I can do it. I'll do it. That's what is called that is it. That is enthusiasm. But enthusiasm is not enough. You need determination. Third important quality is patience. Mm-hmm. And my experience, universities are teaching today enthusiasm and determination. Third quality is more important, sir. Patience. That's what I've said. Relationships, patience. Sometimes results are not coming in your project. Patience. Relationships to sustain. Patience is the one which is equally or more important, along with the lines of enthusiasm and determination.
Beautifully said. And I was being impatient or becoming impatient to find the time and ask you about, like from Bhagavad Gita, when Lord says, Guna Guneshu Vartanta. So gunas are working out. In your book, in the context of time management, also you have talked about Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. How that you find is relevant here?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, whole world runs by 3 modes. If anyone reads 14th chapter Gita, they'll be amazed. Why is Krishna talking about me? Patience, when you develop mode of goodness, means Sattvagun, you'll be able to develop patience. A person in mode of passion, Rajogun, or a person in mode of good ignorance, Tamogun, they cannot develop patience. I've seen that. And they always want results, positive results. And when things are going in their way, they'll be going with so much enthusiasm. But believe me, one day they'll hit the wrong note. When they hit the wrong note, I'll give you an example. Many cinema stars with so much money in the bank, they don't have call sheets, they don't have movies. Everyone hits this slump period in their lives. That time, what maintains them is patience. If you see America, how many singers, how many rock stars ended their lives by committing suicide? Because when you hit the wrong note for 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, some people don't have patience to wait. With all the money in the bank and with all the fanfare they have, still they don't know how to wait. Sometimes I tell people, with students or professionals, wait. Nothing is end of the world. Wait, when the sky is the darkest, 1 minute before the first sun ray comes. So when in your life you're facing the dark period, what you need is patience to wait, to allow the first ray of hope of that sunshine to enter into your life.
So I've been reading your book and I find you shared probably Bob Howard's quote, I am not remembering exact words, but he says that if you don't move, you will not have footprints on the sand.
True.
Something to that effect. And then I also read Robin Sharma's quote from your book, where he says, "Your days are your life in miniature form. As you live your hours, so you craft your years." Sounds logical and nobody would question it. But then there is another side to life where every day is not same. So one day you could be low. That doesn't mean that this is a miniature form of life. You could always have different type of days. Having said that, since we don't have a lot of time, in your own personal journey of managing time, in spite of being active as president of ISKCON's Michigan Temple, you how did you manage to find time to write these books? And I believe you are also a thinker who contemplates, and then so talk to me about that part of your personality.
Prabhuji, the Chanakya says this: even if you invest billions of dollars, you cannot bring back that last second. So suppose time is 5 o'clock, 4:30 time of today can never be brought again. Time and tide wait for nobody. So time is very precious. So usually what happens? People are busy. Everyone is busy. Balyastavad kridasakta, taranastavad taraniragta, vruddhastavad chintavangana, pare brahmani kopnisakta. In the childhood, what is it? This what I always say this, when you are in youth, you have a lot of time. You have so much time, and but the problem is you don't have money. So, but suddenly you will be like you want to prove yourself also to your parents, and then what happens? One day suddenly you're 35. You have a job, you have little money, you have a lot of health, but what you don't have is time because you have 2 children, and you take them to swimming. You have to learn Python. You have to learn AI. You have to take care of your wife, and she is also busy. You have to have huge mortgage on your head. You're happy that you have a home, but you're sad that next 20-30 years you have to work. So in childhood, you have so much time. You have very good health, but what you don't have is money. In the youth, you have some money, you have some good health, but what you don't have, suddenly one day you'll become 60. So in the whole process of working very hard, you have lost your health. You have a lot of money now, and you have some time, but what is not there is
Yeah, so actually each one is on his track. So there are some good examples. There are some examples which calls for additional attention. But coming back to time management for everyone, and as practical tips which you have offered a lot in your book, the prime is plan, and there you also say plan weekly. And I recollect someone said, if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail.
right.
So, is this art of planning something that can be developed, and how?
Actually, Prabhuji, there are so many apps nowadays. So many apps are there. You can plan. Plan weekly. But work daily. Actually, it's very important. I have a question for you. What is the number one? What do you call it? In America, the New Year resolution. Number one New Year resolution: weight loss. But Yahoo, there is an article on this. By March, 90% of people they drop. Why? They made a decision, but how to lose the weight? They did not plan. They did not allocate hours. They did not make a schedule. Some people they made a schedule, but they don't have the inner strength to follow the schedule. If it is true with every part of your life like this, believe me, you will not achieve. Anything you want to achieve, first, plan. Second, make a schedule. Third, allocate this many number of hours. Fourth, on weekly basis, am I making progress? Yes, continue. No, allocate more hours. So likewise, you need to. This is very dynamic. Many people don't do that.
But I think we will probably be leaving with this point, which is very, very important to appreciate the preciousness
Time.
of time.
True. I agree.
And if we don't do that, then it just slips by. And it slips by, meaning our life goes and we carry our unfulfilled dreams with us. So the conversation with Yugal Kishore Dasji is relevant for one and all. And I think I cannot thank you enough for coming up with these wonderful books and wonderful tips also in time management. While wishing you a wonderful time ahead in your life and wishing the same for all of you with lots and lots of good wishes for being a part of this stimulating and inspiring conversation with lots and lots of regard and love. Namaste.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.